I guess we're on. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Lunch from Debates. I am your co-host, Dibo, with my other co-host, Matt, and our special guest for today, Danny, a.k.a. Wayne.
Only Wanny. I'm Wanny, aka Danny. Is what you meant to say.
Nah, I meant to say the complete opposite.
Whatever, bro.
You are not him.
Oh, he's calling you Lanny.
You are not
That's just
him.
that. I mean, that's a common Lebo moment, but we move on. Way
Whatever,
too common Lebo moment.
whatever, man. Whew.
I
All
mean,
right. It's July, mid-July. You know what that means? Most
that we got
boring
a
time.
month till school.
Yeah, that
Unfortunately,
too. That too, but it's the most boring time in sports right now. We don't. There's like nothing going on except baseball.
Bullshit.
you're not
MLS.
rocking with America's sport.
It's boring. Like I said, but we got baseball, MLS, soccer going on, WNBA ball going on. So there's like few enforced. But don't do that. Don't do that.
My fault.
Got Ronaldo talking trash.
As he should.
Got
Why? Why? Saudi League not better than MLS, bro. I promise you that.
Saudi League.
Alex Tellez don't move you. That signing don't move you.
No.
What
Bro.
team got Alex Telles?
Guess what team?
Is it actually Al Nassr?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
but Jordi Alba's coming to Inter Miami. I saw.
Yeah,
that.
they making a Barca super team in Miami.
They are.
Yeah, they
And
should
yes,
go ahead and
about
go
to join
get
after-
Danny Alves as well.
Don't, bro.
No, I heard Suarez might. I heard that's actually a rumor, but Suarez's current club isn't like letting him go.
Yeah, they're not making the playoffs.
Nah, that team horrible.
No, they're next year team.
When's the midgets first game? When he playing?
The 21st, so I believe on Friday.
Damn, I gotta find a way to legally stream that.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Debo, don't you got Apple TV?
Yeah, man, but you
We'll
know,
be at the crib. Debo.
I just deleted my account today,
Aw.
so recently, so I don't got it no more.
Yeah, no, Debo, we'll be at the crib.
I guess you gotta watch it on Craig's teams now. I'm sorry, man.
I was gonna say that we should have pulled up to the Rapids Dynamo game because that was the last home game of the year for the Rapids.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Like
They
you said,
suck,
the last
don't they?
home game.
It's the last home game of the year. I was
Don't
gonna
they
pull up,
suck?
but I was out of town.
Nah, I'm not watching. I'm not watching the Raptors play live, bro.
I would watch them live. They got a decent.
Why would you go to Commerce City?
Bro, that team's the
No,
worst.
the Dick's Sporting Goods Park isn't bad. It's like the one safe area in Commerce City.
Oh, that stadium's still a dump. I'm sorry.
Well, that's because Kroenke runs it.
Yeah, it is because Kroenke Bro, that man does not care about the Raptors, bro. I promise you.
He
He's
doesn't
more
care about-
focused on Arsenal right now
and the Rams.
and the Nuggets.
and any other Denver sports team except the Raptors,
Yeah, for real.
our base sports team. But ranting aside, we got a very special episode today, man. We going back to football, America's pastime, America's greatest sport in the world. Not really, but hey, man, we here.
Water
We are
polo.
here. You said water polo?
Water polo clears.
Hey, man, you can have a really good debate on that. But but moving on, right? If you're watching this right now, we have on the screen we got the tier maker. We got it cooked up, just like last episode. And with these tiers, we have from best to worst, elite, then borderline elite, good, mid, backup/bridge starter, rookies, so basically unproven, and lastly, the Zach Wilson tier, which, if you didn't get it by now, it's the ass tier, complete trash.
So Zach Wilson, I think, has a guaranteed spot there, but we'll see which one of his counterparts will be joining him.
No love for the MILFs out there, huh?
No, absolutely not. And so as I scroll down, here's every single quarterback for this tier ranking. As you see right here, we are going to start with Zach Wilson as the first QB in this video. So, where should Zach Wilson be?
Zach Wilson tier.
I think
Maybe
he
Hall
should
of Fame
go-
tier, actually.
Maybe he should go where it says Zach Wilson.
That is a very good point, Danny. Very good point.
Yeah.
And that's what we'll do.
Again, common Wanny.
Yeah. I had high hope for Zach Wilson coming into last season. I thought he'd take the leap as a quarterback and move the Jets into a playoff contending team, but that was the complete opposite. Dude was probably one of the worst QBs I've ever seen in my entire life. It was horrible. Couldn't throw check downs, couldn't throw deep balls, couldn't do anything. So yeah, one of the biggest draft busts of all time. And I know Hard Knocks is
On the Jets this year.
yeah, the Jets are gonna be on Hard Knocks this season, and I can't wait when he
You're gonna
has
make him look like a fool.
I
Yeah,
can't wait till they show training camp and he's making Rodgers' life hell.
Real.
I can't wait till Salah, the head coach, yells at him in the office for not playing well. So yeah,
If y'all don't want to play me, just trade me. He gonna go on as Corey Coleman.
shout out Corey Coleman, man, for real. He said that and got traded. It then got cut in the same year. So shout out him. All right. Next QB on here. The anointed one, my glorious king, arguably the greatest quarterback of all time in this sport that any football fan has ever seen. And his name is Patrick Lavon Mahomes the second.
I
So
think he should go in the good tier.
in the
I
good
think you
tier,
should go in the Zach Wilson tier.
I feel you.
No, let's not mess about. I know we got a lot of faces to go through. So let's put him in the
we'll
elite.
throw him in elite, and he has to be the first face up there.
He does. In my opinion, Patrick Mahomes can finish at worst the second best quarterback of all time.
Without a doubt. Do you think
He's already a top 5 quarterback?
Yeah.
I think one day he'll leap Tom Brady. I do. I think that's where you were going, Dibo, with your question. I also say that as an advocate Tom Brady hater, so I might be a little biased, but I think the talent he has, the just impossible that he does on the field, the spectacular plays, the ridiculous throwing numbers, him, Andy Reid, and Travis Kelce's connection. I think it's something special. And like I said, I think at the worst, he's going down as the second greatest quarterback of all time.
That's true. Very true.
He already got more rings than Rodgers.
Yeah, he got more rings than a lot of QBs, man.
That is true.
Breeze, Rodgers, he got the same amount of rings as Big Ben, John Elway. He got 2 on Dan Marino. So, hey, man, it might be too early to consider him as like in that top tier. Some people, but he's already there, in my opinion.
He's already there.
So
next guy, Josh Allen. Where do you think Josh Allen should go? I think he's in between elite and borderline elite.
You think he's in between what?
I just think that we saw some regression from him. Without Brian Daboll last year, I think didn't he almost lead the league in interceptions or led the league in interceptions?
Yeah, he was pretty high up there.
He was pretty high up there. And the lack of playoff success has kind of tilted my opinion. I think he has to go in elite, but I think he's really close to falling down a borderline elite.
I don't think so. Because at absolute worst, I have him as a top 3 quarterback, man. You can
I would have him closer to that 5.
At 5?
Because I could see you having him. I could see you having Mahomes, Jalen Hurts after last year, and Joe Burrow after what Joe Burrow did in Buffalo. So I could see him close to 4. I think he has to be above Herbert just because, like I said, playoff success has to factor. And I think Herbert has by far the least playoff success, especially after blowing like a 3-touchdown lead to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
So I would say he's like 4. I would say he's 4. You could argue 4. But I'm fine putting him in elite. I would agree to that.
Fair enough.
You have him in elite?
I do have him in elite. And last year, against the Bengals, of course, at home as well in the divisional round, that was a very bad look for him. He played bad, and the biggest issue I have with Allen, which it's been an issue throughout his whole career, is that he doesn't go for the smart play. he doesn't take the efficient play. He goes for the home run ball when, as a quarterback, you got to learn that there's a time and place where you take the single and the double rather than go for the home run every single time. And the great QBs like Pat Mahomes, of course, Joe Burrow, they had to learn throughout their career that you got to make the smart play, you got to make the efficient play, and I think Josh Allen, he hasn't really learned that, despite his time in the league. And we did see that versus your Rams, Matt, during the opening game of last year. He was going through his progressions, going through his second, third, and even fourth read to make the right throw, and he looked very impressive, And everybody, including me, we all thought that he would take that next step as a more efficient, and less turnover prone quarterback. But as he's progressed, of course, he just didn't show the consistency.
No, for sure. And I think at least through like the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, we all had the Bills as the number one Super Bowl favorite. I mean, they destroyed my Rams coming off a Super Bowl on Thursday Night Football, first game of the season. Second game of the season, they beat the Titans by like 40. And that's when the Titans still had some hope in the season. And then they had that disappointing loss to Miami, and then they bounced back and won the next two. And it's like, at that point, Josh Allen was good. And then I don't know if you remember, but he dealt with some, I think it was either like an elbow injury or some shoulder problems after that Vikings game. And that's when he started losing control of the ball, and he really started turning over the ball a lot more. But to your point about he's got to learn how to check the ball down and not always go for that home run play, I 100% agree. I mean, that's why Tom Brady was so special, and that's why he's the GOAT, is because Tom Brady would be the master of checkdowns, check it down to the running back, check it down to the wide receiver who ran a 2-yard route. And then when the defense is starting to press you and starting to blitz, then you beat them over the top. And that's what Brady did. That's what Pat Mahomes learned after they lost in the Super Bowl. After you guys lost in the Super Bowl, what was it, 2 years ago? And then he bounced back, and now you saw in the Super Bowl his like progression of passing, whether it was the 20-yard bomb or the not bomb, but 20-yard throw to Kelsey for the touchdown, or just checking it down to Pacheco, or checking it down to Kadarius Toney. Like, you got to be able to make multiple progressions and multiple reads. But like Josh Allen, he had 3 interceptions against the Dolphins, and he won mostly because of that defense.
Yeah,
Dolphins not having a starting or backup quarterback. And then obviously he looked poor in the Bengals game, but I think he needs to put in some work. And I think that if he does, the Bills are Super Bowl contenders.
Fair enough. Next QB, we move on to Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty, Joe Burrow.
Elite.
No brainer at all. I don't know if you agree with me with this one, man, but I actually have him over Josh Allen as a number 2 quarterback in the league right now.
I do as well.
Fair enough.
What are we doing for elite? Are we doing top 5 or top 3 or what? Or just how it flows, or just who's elite, who's borderline elite?
Yeah. This how it flows as we like progressively move on with this list.
Okay, that works for me.
Yeah, but
Herbert. Or you want to talk about Joe Burrow?
I mean, well, yeah. We'll just go simple. We'll just go basic. But for Joe Burrow, I think the gap between him and Allen, I think it like closed shut last year, and the ties changed, especially with Burrow and him taking his team again to the AFC title game, of course. His progressions and his ability to not hold on to the ball a lot, it improved last year, because earlier in the season, right, when he lost to the Cowboys, especially, he had that type of problem where he holds on to the ball for like a couple seconds too long, and he takes some stupid sacks, like putting his team into bad situations. So
yeah, getting them out of field goal range and stuff like that. No, I agree. Before this season, I probably would have had like Pat 1 and then Josh Allen 2. But like you mentioned, I think that Joe Burrow really did shrink that gap. And I think part of it is going into what's the Bill Stadium? Whatever the Bill Stadium is, on a snowy day in February, and basically blowing out the Bills in their own place in a playoff game. And Joe Burrow led 2 massive drives in the first quarter, and after that, it basically was game. And so, for me, I don't know. I personally think Joe Burrow is able to use his receivers better and make his receivers more of a threat than Josh Allen is. Because outside of Stephon Diggs, I felt like we expected Gabe Davis to take a big jump, and we just didn't see that leap. And then obviously there's a number of wide receivers, whether it's McKenzie or whoever you want to name, that could be the third option, but we've never seen them take that leap. Even Dawson Knox hasn't progressed the way you would like him to. But for Joe Burrow, we saw Hayden Hurst arguably have his best season of his career. We saw Jamar Chase always have great seasons, great output in his 2 years in the league. We're saying T. Higgins could be a wide receiver 1 on another team. We're saying Tyler Boyd is ridiculous to have as a wide receiver 3. And it just seems like everything can go right for the Bengals offense at the moment. So I agree with having him at number 2.
All right. Moving along. Next one, Jay Herbo, Justin Herbert. What you think?
Talent-wise, I want to put him in elite. But I think we might have to put him in borderline elite for now.
Oh, no.
I want to put him in elite, but what was it? Joe Lombardi completely ruined him. I think Kellen Moore is going to have him playing beautiful. Kellen Moore is going to have him in the elite tier, undoubtedly.
Yeah, I'm very excited about Kellen Moore. I think him and his dynamic play calling, and we saw that with during this time with the Cowboys, especially them being consistently a top offense in the league statistically. I just think that it will unlock a whole new element with this Chargers team, because throughout Justin Herbert's term with LA, right, the biggest issue with the offense in general was the lack of explosiveness, especially on the outside with both Keenan Allen and Mike Williams as your 2 best wide receivers. But with Kellen Moore being into the mix as a new play caller, and along with them getting Quentin Johnston from TCU in the draft,
right?
But I think the Chargers are going to take another step forward offensively as a whole.
No, I think you hit it on the head though with those 2, the wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. I think a big reason why we haven't seen the success we would have wished we would have seen with Herbert so far is just because of the health of those 2 guys. They're never able to build that chemistry and that consistency with one another, because Mike Williams is dealing with a back injury, Keenan Williams is dealing with a hamstring injury, and before you know it, they've both missed more than half the season.
Yeah. They're not getting any younger too, especially Keenan Allen. So.
Especially Keenan Allen, yeah. And we'll see what happens with Austin Eckler, because he wanted a trade, but it looks like he'll be on the roster.
I don't know, man. Like with him and the other running backs in the league, it's just gonna be hard. With them trying to get new contracts, it's unfortunate, really.
Did you see the one quote that it said an anonymous GM, BR Gridiron posted it? It said that one anonymous GM said, "We rather use a high draft pick and use a running back for 5 years than pay them for big money."
Yeah, that's kind of bullshit.
Which I don't know. I hope we're not headed towards like a strike for the running backs.
No, I think we might head towards that, because when you look at the other positions contract-wise throughout the league, they're all starting to get big money. Wide receivers, most recently, even with tight ends too. And really the only position where the increase hasn't been changing, in fact, has been decreasing even, has been the running back.
I heard a fun fact. I actually read a fun fact today. I don't know if you're going to believe this. Would you believe if I told you the average NFL running back salary is now lower than the average NFL kicker's salary?
That's
absurd. Bro, that should not be happening.
That's bad. That is bad.
That should not be happening.
Oh, and the issue with this is that I understand teams not wanting to pay for running backs, especially for like Super Bowl contending teams like the Chiefs, the Bengals, and other teams like that. But
Cowboys.
Yeah, the Cowboys too. But for teams that, the running back is one of the most valuable key pieces to their entire team, bro, they're not even paying them either. Like for Saquon especially, the man was, the offense completely ran through him the whole season.
Yeah, Brian, you had the mastermind Brian Dable come in, and the first thing he did was scheme an offense around not Daniel Jones but Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, like the offense was establishing the run, and then we used Daniel Jones' legs to get some read option plays in there, and like the short, quick passes, short intermediate game, and the occasional deep ball with play action as well. And Saquon Barkley was a huge piece of that offense working.
No, for sure, for sure. I hope he doesn't hold out. He's on my fantasy team.
I had Josh Jacobs on my fantasy team, but I traded him away for Tony Pollard and a couple other pieces. So
Tony Pollard didn't get a deal either, though.
he's gonna play on the franchise tag. So
He's gonna play. He also has to kind of prove himself since he got hurt.
yeah,
But Saquon's proved himself. That's the scary part.
Bro, Josh Jacobs did that too on his last.
But Josh Jacobs was bad every year before last year.
No, he wasn't.
He's been like average. He's been like mid. Last year he was arguably like top 3. He had a very good year last year.
Yeah,
I mean Saquon. This is a dude who the Giants took with their 4th overall pick a couple years back. He's basically been the best player on the team since he's been on the team since he was drafted, and they still don't want to pay him. How much do you think Saquon was asking for? I am curious. What do you think?
I think anything above 14, so more than McCaffrey's deal.
Because they offered, I heard, $11 million.
But yeah, he was asking for north of 14, 15 mil.
I'm not losing Saquon over a couple mil. I'll say it like that.
Man, but they paid DJ 40 mil, but won't pay Saquon. Mm-hmm. I don't know about that.
They paid Kenny Golladay how much?
Stupid amounts of money to do nothing, and they still won't pay Saquon. That's
crazy.
So
where do we want to put Herbert? Elite?
Yeah, I still put him elite.
He's at the back end of elite.
Yeah. All right. This could be a controversial one for our next pick. Aaron Rodgers now with the New York Jets.
I'm gonna put him in the good tier.
The good tier?
The good tier.
Okay, I'm gonna let you talk first.
Okay, I assume you have him in the mid tier.
I don't have him in the mid tier.
You have him in bridge starter?
No.
Borderline elite?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't hate borderline elite. I just think that he's a little past his prime, and I think that Aaron Rodgers, I don't know though, because Aaron Rodgers elite would have been able to work with that receiving core last year. Borderline elite, I feel like Aaron Rodgers could still do it. But I just feel like even last year, Aaron Rodgers will typically have a couple of moments. Every game he'll have at least one, I feel like, where he'll say, ha, and he'll always get somebody to jump off sides. And he'll throw a deep pass and either get a catch or get a pass interference. It's like he basically came up with that. Like he's perfected that, like just using his voice and his command and his control at the line of scrimmage. But I felt like I didn't see any of that last year. And I felt like it was a lack of effort. I really did. And part of that is him wanting to be out of Green Bay and Green Bay never surrounding him with pieces that he wanted. So there is a world where he goes to New York. He's very happy. Obviously, he was courtside at the Knicks game with Sauce Gardner. Seems to have some friends on the team. Seems to like Rob Saleh. There's a world where he can get back to borderline elite or elite. But based off of last season, where he had a solid defense and his team didn't even make the playoffs, I have to put good.
That's fair. And we could see a huge drop-off with A-Rod as well. I mean, he's going to turn 40 during the season this year. So, as you know, with QBs, once they get up in with that certain age, when north of around 37, 38, even, they become even worse.
Father time catches up.
It does. We've seen that before with Brett Favre, Big Ben, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, guys like that. It just comes with time. Football is a very physical sport, and at a certain age, especially at the QB position, you're just gonna take a fall off in that sense athletically. So, yeah.
So, do you still have him borderline elite?
I do. I think talent wise, he's still a top 5, 5 QB in this league.
He's
But
one of the smartest QBs left for sure.
right, yeah, he still has the IQ to still be able to do it. And I do get where you're coming from, Matt, with him having a down year. He didn't look good last year as well. I do agree with you on that. A large part of that, in my opinion, it was him checking out. Of course, I just think with the departure of Devontae Adams to Las Vegas, that just broke off like whatever sort of relationship they A-Rod had with him and the entire organization. So I think you saw that especially last year too with his poor performances at times. The Lions game, the first Detroit game, that was bad. That was really bad.
That was like what, 4 or 3 interception game?
Yeah, it was a 3 interception game.
I think 2 of them were in the red zone too.
Yeah, they were in the red zone.
Yeah.
They were.
So hold on, are we doing this based off how we think they're going to be next season, or
no? Like what they currently are now.
Because I think next season he finishes border elite, but last season I would say good. That's where I'm like stuck here. Because if we're thinking about border elite, who's an example of a player down here that you would say is border elite?
Borderline elite, Lamar.
Yeah. Oh, I had Lamar in elite.
We'll talk about
if
that later.
Lamar is borderline elite, then A-Rod has to be good. A-Rod to me is a step down from Lamar at the moment.
Shoot, man. For this tier, I guess we got to put A-Rod in the good tier then.
In the good tier, we'll see. We'll also look back at the list and we can make any changes.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, next one up is T-Law, Trevor Lawrence.
Where you got him, Dibo?
Borderline elite.
I do as well. I'm glad. I was scared to say it at first. I'm not gonna lie, but hey, I have him in borderline elite.
God bless that man. He got free from the shackles of Urban Meyer and immediately showed up to be. Well, I won't say immediately, but
second half of the season.
Yeah, second half of the season, he proved to be a top 10 QB in this league, man. Bro, Doug Peterson completely revitalized that Jaguar offense. Guys like
Christian Kirk.
Yeah, Christian Kirk.
ETN.
ETN as well. Evan Ingram had his career year.
Also got paid. Shout out Evan Ingram.
He did get paid, and that offense is going to get even better with the addition of Calvin Ridley as well, being that number one wide receiver on the outside. So with T-Law, this guy's living for that man. We've been known this since his days at Clemson. One of the greatest generational prospects out of the college game we've ever seen. And, hey, man, the struggles, they were there last year, but, well, I won't say last year, but in his rookie season. But I just felt like it was more due to the dysfunction of the Jags organization and Urban Meyer just not knowing what the hell he was doing. And, them bringing in a guy like Doug Peterson in the locker room, him being the guy and him being the offensive guru that he is, revitalizing the team and getting him to the playoffs. I think that was a big step in his development.
No, for sure. And I think you got to give some props to the Jaguars organization because they obviously paid Urban Meyer handsomely and gave him a long-term contract. And for them to, 6 or 8 weeks into the season, realize, look, we have a generational talent at QB and we can't ruin our chances. We've been bad for a while now. I know we had some Blake Bortles and Leonard Fournette years where we made it far in the playoffs, but outside of that, we have had no success. And so for them to take a back step and kind of look at everything from a bird's eye view, see what's happening, assess the situation, and fire him and hire a guy like Doug Peterson is all you can ask for from an organization. And it's like a lot of those teams are picking 1 and 2 and 3 repeatedly, like the Cleveland Browns. I know Danny left, but because they have bad management and they have bad ownership. And for the Jaguars, I mean, when you land a generational talent like Trevor Lawrence, to do what you did is exactly how you get out of that situation.
Absolutely. Hey, man, Blake Bortles died for these days, man.
Blake Bortles. Who else was on? Allen Robinson.
We said Leonard Fournette.
There was what was it, Hearns? I swear.
Allen Hearns. Bro, the Allen Hearns, Allen Robinson duo, man, was.
They had a special defense too.
Yeah, Saxonville, man.
Yeah, Miles Jack, Calais Campbell, Jalen Ramsey.
That's true. AJ Bouye, come on.
AJ Bouye. They had the best corner duo in the league for a minute.
Hey man, them boys is nice.
Who was the coach? Was it Coughlin?
No, it was Doug Malone. Coughlin was in the higher ups.
He was. You're right.
But yeah, shout out that Jacksonville team back in 2017, man.
For real.
Could have went to the Super Bowl, but
12 exists.
Yeah, the NFL had to let New England be in it again.
That Jacksonville Steelers divisional game was one of my favorite games of all time.
Bro, Blake Bortles was walking them down. That was crazy.
Blake Bortles, that's a career game and a half.
Bro, he was killing them, man. He was actually making clutch throws too at the end of the game. It was nutty.
It was nutty. But let's move on. Let's move on to Dakota Prescott.
Oh man,
I think we both have him in the same place, so I'm gonna say it. Good.
I'm gonna put him in a good tier.
Okay. I don't think he can be borderline elite, and he's definitely too good for mid. So it's kind of like good.
Yeah.
I don't think he's borderline elite because we've never, even when they were like 13-3, we wouldn't call him like top 5. And as of right now, just based off what we've seen so far in his career, I wouldn't say he has the potential to be top 5. Whereas Trevor Lawrence, I could see being an MVP candidate. I could see him being top 5. So for me, I think he's good. I think he'll always have the Cowboys in a position to win the division, even with a stacked Eagles roster in the NFC East.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to be good for me.
Yeah, and I do agree with you on that as well, man. Dak Prescott, we've seen him as a starter in this league for over the past half decade, and him being 29, almost 30. This is just who he is at this point. A QB that occasionally shows glimpses of being great, even elite as a quarterback. But, his deficiencies at times hinder him from being truly one of like a top 10 quarterback, in the NFL. And we've seen that, especially when it matters the most in the playoffs.
I was just about to say.
In the past 2 seasons, the Cowboys have had one of the most talented teams in the entire league on both sides of the ball. Offense, you have CeeDee Lamb, the duo of Tony Pollard and Zeke in the
one
back.
Of the best O-lines.
That too. Michael Gallup as well. Defense, Michael Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, Trayvon Diggs, guys like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just dynamic playmakers on both sides of the ball. And what does Dallas have had to show for it? A wild card exit and a divisional round exit.
No, for sure. And you look back to this season, he had a phenomenal game, arguably like the best game of his career in the wild card round against the Buccaneers. And he played so well that a lot of people were predicting the Cowboys to go into San Francisco, into the Bay, and beat the 49ers. And he had a stinker where his team only put up 12 points. And that was with the defense playing outstanding ball, with them receiving good field position multiple times. And also, you look back to the year previously, I remember thinking this, watching the game, when they lost to Dallas, or when they lost to the 49ers at AT&T Stadium the year before. They didn't cross half field in the first quarter. And they had the ball multiple times, and that's just unacceptable for a playoff game, especially when, like you mentioned, you have one of the better O-lines in the league. You have Zeke and Tony Pollard, a great running back duo. You have CeeDee Lamb. This is when you still had Amari Cooper. You have Kellen Moore, who is one of the best coordinators in the league. And so to not even cross the 50-yard line in the first half, or not the first half, the first quarter, is unacceptable. And I think they only put up like 3 or 7 points in the first quarter, or in the first half. So that's not great. That's not great playoff success.
No, not at all. And this year, well, this has to be a make or break year for Dak.
Do you think his comments are true? He said he was going to throw less than 10 interceptions this year. I think it's true. I'll say that. I think that's what they need him to be too.
They do, but I don't know. He's just, and it's been happening throughout his year, especially in 2017 he threw 13 picks, 2019 11 picks, 21 10 picks, and 22 he had 15 picks
And
last
that's
year.
with him missing time too last year.
Yeah, especially with that. That was the highest amount of picks thrown by any QB in the league. And for him, he came into this league being as a game manager during that 2016 season when they had the year where they went 13-3. Like you said, Matt. But with Dak, he just at times he just doesn't make the simple play. He tries to force it.
He has it's similar between him and Josh Allen.
Yeah, but at least with Josh Allen, he has the athletic capabilities to make said big throws, big plays. With Dak, he can't really do those things.
For sure. I agree. I agree. Because we've seen Josh Allen do the spectacular, but for me, Dak Prescott is best when he kind of manages the game and like you said, he hits those checkdowns and then occasionally takes the big shot. But it feels like last season he was looking for the big shot too much and didn't have too much command over the ball.
Yeah, but with that being said, we got him in good tier, man.
Yeah. Next tier or next player, Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
I think he's mid, and here's why. To me, it's between mid and bridge QB or bridge starter.
Bridge
And the reason I don't have him in bridge starter is just because they gave him a long-term deal. And when I think of bridge starter, I think 1 to 2 years max. But I really think that Derek Carr is just. I don't want to be mean and say mid, but I do think that's the tier he belongs in.
I think I'm gonna agree with you on that. I'm gonna have to agree. You know, even as a Chiefs fan, I've grown to like Derek Carr,
I like him as well.
Especially with him being a leader during that season where the John Gruden stuff happened, him being a racist,
Henry Ruggs,
the Henry Ruggs situation, Damon Arnett flexing guns on IG Live, bro, and for him to carry himself in the whole situation and lift the team up to making the playoffs, I commend him a lot for that. But last season, man, it just rubbed me off the wrong way.
It did. I wish, and maybe I don't wish. I personally think that if John Gruden wouldn't have been a horrible person and wouldn't have done all the stuff and did all the things, I think Derek Carr and John Gruden were actually going to be a decent duo.
The champ is back.
The champ is back.
The realest, the illest is back, yo.
For those of you who don't know, Danny texted the group chat and said he had to go a massive number 2.
Massive. If you guys don't know, I have a shitting disorder.
You don't gotta explain it like that, man.
Where Danny, I uncontrollably shit for 45 to 30 minutes. Well, 30 to 45 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
Next time he said I might have VIP access to watch.
It's a massive disorder. It's completely real. I didn't just make it up. And I don't appreciate Dibo doing the timeout signal, which is where he's trying to say, speak up or, wrap it up. Dibo, this is a completely real thing that I didn't just make up that, probably millions of people suffer from.
Okay, Wanny. I want to know, so far, how is our list? Do you agree? You disagree?
I got Burrow over Allen.
Yeah.
Burrow over Allen.
I like T-Law and borderline elite.
Mm-hmm.
I like Dakota and good. Dakota should be in borderline elite, but he's just an idiot. So
he hasn't shown the top 5 potential.
So that's what borderline elite means, that you have top 5 potential.
It's one of the things. It also means because elite is top 5, I would say. Maybe
sure.
We might have more. Borderline elite is you've kind of taken a step above good. And I feel like since Dak's rookie year, we haven't seen that step above good.
Has Trevor Lawrence taken a bigger step than Dak has?
Yes.
I think he's also showed that potential.
Yes.
I think he showed a lot more potential.
I love Trevor Lawrence, but has he shown a bigger leap than Dak ever did?
Yes, with less weapons too.
Less weapons for sure. Worse offensive line for sure. Although the Jaguars don't have a bad offensive line, I would say.
They've improved it recently.
But I would also say Dak has had the weapons, but Trevor Lawrence had to deal with Urban Meyer. First year with Doug Peterson, they got off to a shaky start. And then once he finally was able to build that chemistry, second half of the year they went like 7-1, 8-1.
Oh, shut up! They're in the AFC South.
They also came back. He also came back from 3 touchdowns down in the playoffs. Well, Dak has done far from good.
Over the guy that you guys say is elite too.
He's elite. Let's not be ridiculous.
Is it, bro? You don't think Herbert was elite?
So Herbert was the reason they got those 27 points, but Herbert wasn't the reason they lost them.
No, Brandon Staley was.
Yeah, whatever.
Brandon Staley should be fired.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. So are you
regardless, I think the list is pretty good so far, though.
Okay, and then we have, I don't know if you can see, Derek Carr is at the bottom. We said mid. Me and Dibo both agreed mid. You agree or disagree?
I'm fine with mid, but I think that at this point of his career, he's just a bridge guy. So, but I'm fine with mid.
See, I thought that you could argue bridge, but the only reason I chose mid was just because of the long-term deal that they gave him. I feel like you're not giving that big of money and that long of a deal to somebody who...
How long was his deal?
4 years.
They gave him 4 years?
They gave him 4 years.
Oh, wait, no.
Is it? It was 4 years. Wasn't it like 4/120 or something like that?
Holy
Yo,
shit.
chat, fact check this for me, chat.
I thought it was 3.
But because bridge starters like...
Bridge starter's like a 1 or 2 year deal.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said.
Oh my God, it's 4 years 50. 150. It's 4 years 150.
Oh, 150. My bad. My bad.
Agent. Yo, shout out Derek Carr's agent.
Shout out Derek Carr's agent.
Well 4 years 150 and with $100 million guaranteed for Derek Carr.
It's one of the best contracts in the league. I actually think the guy's underpaid. You know, for what he does in the locker room, for his ability on the field, I think he could go down as like a top 5 QB of all time.
They're gonna be 3-7, and then he's gonna go on the podium and start crying again.
Bro, come on, bro.
No,
fuck that.
No, bro. The Raiders would make me cry too if I had to deal with everything he did. That's the definition. You know what's surprising though? We've never seen a Browns quarterback cry, so I can't really say the same thing.
They cry when they get drafted.
Nah, Baker looks lit.
Nah.
Baker's a different type of human being. So,
all right, Danny, let's go to your starting quarterback on my Diggs. Small Diggs, Diggs, monetize those.
The best fantasy team in the nation, homie.
Lamar Jackson.
Where you got your starting quarterback Lamar at?
Borderline elite, I think is fair.
I got him borderline elite.
I have him elite.
No.
I just think you go back to his MVP season. I would argue he was in MVP contention last season before he got hurt.
Yeah, he was.
Well, he was an MVP contender for the first month of the year in September. What did he do the rest of the year?
That is true. He did ghost. He did ghost for like the majority of the season, and then he got hurt.
I don't know.
The thing with Lamar,
I think if we have Herbert in the league, we have to have Lamar.
No.
Lamar's been an MVP. He's done more in the league.
What has he done the past 2 years?
What has Herbert done the past 2 years?
Real.
Better than Lamar, statistically.
At least Herbert's got his, or at least Jackson's got his team in the playoffs both years.
And got a playoff win.
And got a playoff win.
Didn't Herbert lead his team to above 500% winning?
That team is too talented to be only going for above 500.
I don't know about that.
Especially with the moves that they made in the offseason.
You also got to remember, we talk about Herbert having Joe Lombardi as an offensive coordinator. Oh, that stunted his growth. That hurt his potential.
We do.
But Lamar also had a horrible OC the last couple of years. With no
the
weapons.
Worst.
He doesn't have Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, or Mike Williams. He has Mike Williams. He has who? He has Mark Andrews, J.K. Dobbins, who was hurt most of last year.
Hollywood Brown,
who was gone last year. Right? Rashad Bateman, who was hurt most of last year. So you're asking this dude to throw to Devin Duvernay
and Deshaun Jackson.
Bro, Devin Duvernay is good for the
case. And he was playing like an MVP candidate. I just don't understand how we don't have him in the league.
Because the drop-offs have happened for 2 straight years now.
What drop-off?
Just randomly after the first month of the season, just a random drop-off in production.
Bingo.
Last year it was really bad.
The first month of this season.
Last year it was really bad, and then he got hurt, and then the Ravens finished last in the AFC North, or 2 years ago. And then last season, he was carrying them, and they were winning games, but Like in the beginning of the year, they were winning games because of him, and then in the end of I'd say his last 4 weeks of the season, they were winning because of the defense.
Well, he wasn't there. He wasn't there the last 4 weeks. It was Tyler Huntley.
No, I mean that's like the last 4 weeks of his season because I believe he played 8 full weeks. And then he got hurt in week 9.
I see what you're saying.
And then he got hurt in week 9 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with borderline elite as long as he's the closest one.
I think but I think borderline elite is fair, but ahead of Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. That's good with me.
Oh man, this next one gonna be controversial, man.
He's
K1.
Kyler Murray.
He should. Hey, if you ask me, I would throw him borderline elite, but I'm fine with putting him in good.
No. If you asked me not even 2 years ago, maybe like last year, before last season, I would have said borderline elite.
I would have said ahead of Lamar Jackson.
Huh?
I would have said ahead of Lamar Jackson.
To me,
last season?
Borderline elite means that you have to make your offense great when you don't even have the weapons around you.
Nah, because no quarterback does that.
I would say T-Law. T-Law doesn't necessarily have elite.
What are you talking about?
No. He's got good enough weapons.
I'd say without elite weapons, though.
Kirk had a great year. Ingram had a great year. Travis Etienne.
Yeah, but before the season, what were we saying? We were saying that Christian Kirk was overpaid and he was not going to be a wide receiver 1.
Yeah, we said he was
overpaid. And guess what? Guess what? Was anybody going to throw him in borderline elite? No.
Who? Trevor Lawrence?
Nobody was before the start of last season.
But that's what I'm saying. Trevor Lawrence is able to elevate those people. I don't know necessarily if we've seen Kyler Murray elevate the weapons around him.
Who was the one that got Christian Kirk paid? Was that Trevor Lawrence or was that somebody?
That was the Jacksonville front office.
Okay.
What?
Come on, bro.
Come
on, bro.
Oh my God, this man.
Come on, bro.
Who had a better year? Did Hollywood Brown have a better year? Did Hollywood Brown have a better year with Kyler or with Lamar?
Bro, he was cooking this year before he broke his foot.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of Kyler Murray's fault he got injured, but
it was. That was a terrible throw. But like, it was at the end of the game, and it was just like, fuck this shit. We're like 1-10.
Yeah.
Hollywood Brown could have won a game for them against the Raiders, but I don't know if you guys remember that game that they won in OT.
Yeah,
Kyler went off.
Fucking carried. Yeah,
I he put the team on his back. But he was doing.
I do remember that game.
But he was doing whole loopy loops like the shit.
On the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
But he's got to go to good for me. He's got to go to good for me, especially after that playoff performance.
I think he's got to be ahead of Dakota though.
I got him being ahead of Dak too.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
That's fine with me. But that playoff loss to the Raiders did a lot. Or not to the Raiders. To my Rams did a lot.
Bro, there's no way you're serious, bro. They would send in 6 at him every time and manning up on the outside. And
but you can't be a quarterback and be what he was doing on the sideline.
Bro, I'd be pissed too.
He wasn't even pissed. He was just
name one quarterback who doesn't get mad on the sidelines.
He wasn't pissed. That's the problem.
Oh, he wasn't? I thought he wasn't.
He was just sitting and doing nothing. He wasn't watching film and he wasn't pissed and like throwing his helmet.
Good for him.
He showed no emotion, which I do not like.
Good for him, bro.
Hey man, was D-Hop not even playing that game?
No, he like broke his kneecap or something, or he had like a tendon issue or something in his knee.
He always got some injury.
He always do. Shout out the Titans. Get my nigga a bag.
Yeah,
bro, Mr. Krabs. That's his new nickname.
Yo,
Mr. Krabs.
Off topic question, but you got the Titans making the playoffs with D-Hop now or no?
Hell nah. In order to make the playoffs in that division is to win that division.
Yeah, they're not gonna get wild.
They're not gonna win that division, sadly.
Nah, I think you need like 8-9 wins to win the AFC South.
Hey, the people that should be happy about this though is Derrick Henry fantasy owners.
Why? Because now everybody can't.
Because I mean, you can because like the quarterbacks are still ass, but at least now like they can't put as much pressure.
I have been hearing that Malik Willis has been playing better than Will Levis in training.
That doesn't seem like it's too hard to do.
Malik Willis gotta fire up the LinkedIn regardless. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You gotta get that LinkedIn.
He looked bad. He looked horrible.
I'm sorry.
He looked like he didn't know how to throw a ball. I can't lie.
Yeah, bro, they gave him the retard playbook and he still looked horrible.
Oh, So, but yeah.
What?
You gotta use the
the only R word I know is respect. So they gave him the respected playbook and he still looked horrible.
Yeah.
respected playbook.
Bro, Malik,
Alright.
yeah, he not good. But yeah, moving on. This is gonna be one of the more controversial ones here. Deshaun Watson.
Danny, you're a Browns fan. I'll let you go first.
Let's see here. This was what 3 years ago now. He'd be an elite.
He would be.
If this was 2
Yeah.
years ago, we'd say he's borderline elite. So do I? Let's
But
see.
we're in present day.
Let's see. So do I judge off of what I saw him do in college
Or post
and in the
allegations.
NFL? So about 6 years of experience, or do I judge 6 games from last season?
I'm judging the 6 games.
I'm not.
I don't think that's a fair thing to do. But I think that it's fair to put him in good. I just don't know if we put him because look, I think that if he plays to what like we think that he can be, he'll be in the borderline elite tier easily. He'll be even competing for an elite spot. But
Yeah.
do we put him? Because I don't know if we can put him ahead of Rodgers. If I think we could put him in front of Kyler, but can we put him in front of Dak?
I said I was going to put him behind Rodgers. That was my thought, personally. So I'm glad we're on the same
I think
page.
it's fair to put him behind Rodgers, but ahead of Kyler.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
I do expect him to have a bounce back year. I think that, if DeMar Hamlin doesn't get comeback player of the year, I think it should go to Deshaun Watson.
Damn.
I'm scared the league might not let Deshaun be good. And I'm also scared that the Barry McCockner joke is true, where the Browns are incapable of having a good quarterback.
It might be a real thing. Who knows?
It might
I
be.
mean, they had Bernie Kosar back in the '80s, so it is possible.
Yeah, he was nice.
Shout out
And
Bernie.
we had Baker that 1 year.
That 1 year.
Yeah, that one year.
That
So
1 year.
All I need out of Deshaun is 1 year, bro. Just one good year. That's all I need.
can he give you 1 year? But
Right. One out of the next 4 years of his contract.
No, I
just need
can't.
one.
I can't deal with Danny in the chat if the Browns are good.
What? Dibo, when the Browns were good the year, was I unbearable?
absolutely every week.
Bro, what the fuck?
We're so annoyed.
Weebo moment.
So annoyed. Gassing up, bro. This feels gassing up Baker Mayfield, bro.
Bro, I was excited. The day we won against the Steelers, I think that's how Dibo felt when the Chiefs won a Super Bowl, or how Matt felt when the Rams won a Super Bowl. Because to me, that was my Super Bowl.
How I felt when the Knicks won a playoff series.
I mean, that was my Super Bowl right there.
Yeah. Damn, that shit kind of sad though. But hey, it was your moment.
Fuck up, man.
I was happy, bro. I was happy for you on that day. We'll
see you in the chip game, bro. We'll see you in the chip game, bro.
Y'all not making the chip. I actually got the Browns being good this year with Deshaun. Going back to his original ways, nearly, but y'all not making the chip game.
Unfortunately, they're in the hardest division in the league.
Real.
Or actually, second hardest division in the league.
What's the hardest?
You could argue AFC North. It's between you guys and them.
Yeah, it's between the AFC North and the AFC North.
Or not, I mean AFC East. AFC East.
You said NFC East?
No, AFC East.
Oh, AFC.
AFC.
Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots.
Oh man.
Let's see. The Bengals are better than the Bills. The Ravens are better than the Jets, and we're better than the. We're not better than. Are we better than the Dolphins?
Patriots?
Oh, we're way better than the Patriots.
Steelers are better than the Patriots.
And are we better than the Dolphins?
No.
Debatably, they could be.
I think they will beat the Bengals week 1 though.
They could be.
We'll get into that in a few months when we do predictions, more NFL predictions. But
yeah, I'm actually high on the Browns this year though. Like I said, promise you. Bro, people 6 games from a guy that didn't even play for over a year. Come on, man.
It's a personal thing, and I can understand it. It's a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry. I'll always be rooting against him.
Well, he gonna be top 12 again. Unfortunately,
I hope so. I gotta say, Prime Watson, when he was on the Texans, was one of my favorite players to watch. He legit lit it up every week.
I miss when he was a good guy.
Bro, they're putting him in.
He was the next face of the NFL.
Oh, they were dead as putting him in like Mahomes debates, bro.
They were.
Oh
The,
man.
the AFC was supposed to be him, Mahomes, and Jackson for the next decade, but the NFL was like, we can't have this many black guys in the whole conference being, this
I was
good.
about to say that elite tier is looking a little Caucasian.
Yeah.
Oh man, my dog went from Pat Mahomes debates to fucking Kyler Murray debates, man. Jesus Christ. How far have we fallen?
It's different.
Next guy is Tua. Can we
Yeah.
all agree good?
I'm fine with Tua being in the good tier.
I would say
like the
he's
end
at
of it
the back
though.
of the good tier, too.
Yeah,
I think
back of
Dibo
it,
placed
yeah.
him perfectly.
Behind Dakota, yeah, I'm fine with that, yeah.
That's straight.
Although he is about to have an MVP season, I heard, for Team Kishinevsky.
That's why you're trying to get a QB?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. These rumors that NFL Central is dropping are just fake.
NFL Central?
Oh, this man's trying to give up Tua away so fast, bro.
Bro,
I don't know
he's
what you're talking
attaching
about. I'm
Tua
happy
into
rolling out
first
with him week
everywhere.
1.
Bro, I remember this man Matt. You sent me an offer for it was Jalen Hurts for Tua and 2 firsts. I was like, bro, you don't get the fuck out of here with this
Bro,
bullshit.
I was about to cook up the same deal with Danny for Lamar. I had multiple phone calls, or not multiple, but we had phone calls and discussed.
But I would decline that shit with the quickness, bro. That shit is ass. That is horrible.
See, Dibo doesn't know how to value his players. Danny understands the market.
I understand the market, but at the end of the day, man, I'll give Lamar a shot because I at least know he's gonna go stupid for the first 3 weeks. So that should be 3 free wins.
Hey, same thing with Tua. Don't forget how Tua was pre-concussion first 4 weeks of the year.
Yeah, 17 points a game. Don't need that shit. 17 versus 40. I'll take my chances.
I'll take my chances on finding him. I'll take my chances on Bryce Young being there in 2 years. Or Kenny Mittens in 1 year.
No.
Kenny Pickett is a sleeper pick because he has some mobility to him.
Oh, bro,
I promise you, Kenny Pickett might work out.
In a Matt Canada offense?
Yeah, like I said, in the Matt Canada offense, that's not working.
As dynasty,
it's not even Matt
coaches
Canada,
and coordinators can come and go in a dynasty.
This nigga not even Matt Canada. He like Matt USSR, bro. This dude is one of the worst people to ever be in the
Hey,
NFL.
never disrespect the Matt. Please.
Bro, that man Canada making your name bad, bro. They making all the Matts in the world look bad, bro.
That man, Matt Iraq. Not no damn Matt Canada.
Nah. Matt Canada and Matt Nagy when he was the head coach.
Not Iraq because he bombing Pickett's career.
Because he's a fucking terrorist, is why.
Oh, hey.
He said, "Time
out, bro. We gotta move on. We gotta move on. Next one, Jalen Hurts.
Elite.
And he's got to be ahead of Herbert.
Yep.
And ahead of Allen. Fuck it.
Woo!
I might agree with Danny.
Ahead of Joshua.
Actually,
Jalen Hurts should have been on that Madden cover.
I can't only because Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a better dual threat because of his running ability, but he also has a much better offensive unit compared to Josh Allen.
Bro, he's a way better runner than Allen too. When it comes
for sure.
It comes to not taking bad hits.
Taking bad hits.
Smarter runner.
Allen is like a QB who really only does it out of the draw or on the scramble, but with Jalen Hurts, he's much more of like a read option.
Yeah. It's more designed runs for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like the way Allen be taking hits, man.
No, I don't.
Hey, bro, you the quarterback and you hurdling people. What are you doing?
I remember when he did that his rookie year against the Vikings.
Bro, slide.
Bro,
then every year he comes out with a quote. Yeah, I'm gonna take less hits this year. And then week 1, this man is trucking and stiff arming DBs and shit. Like, what are you doing, bro? Just go down.
Lifestyle.
Just go down, bro.
And no, we were talking about it before, earlier in the episode, right? And this is the problem I've had with Josh Allen is that he hasn't been able to evolve since his second year in the league. Really, he's been the same quarterback in a way.
Evolve meaning what? Because he's better. His second year in the league was that year that they lost to the Texans.
Oh no, I'm talking. No, the third year when he took a big leap. My fault. When
he took
first year they got Diggs. The first year they got Diggs.
He took a huge leap, yeah, but that was such a huge leap to where there's not much more room to go.
I don't know. I thought he should have been MVP last year. I'll say that.
How the fuck should he have won the MVP? Oh,
He
you
would have
thought
won
that he
MVP if
would?
he didn't get hurt.
No, fuck no.
He was
Get
one.
the fuck out of here with that
He was
shit.
first place before he got injured.
Get the fuck out of here.
Bro, Jalen Hurts had a way better season than him, regardless.
Hurts had that shit on LDs, and then Mahomes came in.
On LDs, on lunchroom debates.
Lockdown.
Come on.
Nah, that's not what LD stands for. Respect greatness.
Whatever. Okay.
Respect greatness.
All right.
Next one. Just
Matt's favorite quarterback.
I'll go first.
Yeah, where are you gonna throw him?
You racist.
Bro's gonna throw him in Zach Wilson and say behind Zach Wilson.
Okay,
too.
he's in between mid and good for me. If he's good, I want him behind Tua. If he's mid, I want him at the front. I'll say it like that.
That's exactly where I was wanting to put him. So
Damn, you put
I wanted to put him in good behind Tua. I didn't want him in mid though.
Wait, so you guys would put him over Derek Carr and Tua?
I
wouldn't put him over Tua, but I put him ahead of Derek Carr.
I would put him. I prefer to put him in mid. I
don't know about that. I put him in mid, and then I have him behind Carr.
I just feel like good. We've at least seen
Behind
everybody
Carr.
in good have like winning seasons, at least make the playoffs or at least make the wild card. And I understand Justin Fields has by far a horrible roster, like by far the worst roster of any player there. But we haven't even seen like what, a 5 or 6 win season.
But
He won 5 games his rookie year.
And then how many did they win last year?
Okay,
4.
with the worst roster in the league.
They won like 4
No, I
or 3
agree.
games.
I agree. I understand it's the worst roster, but I would like to see some wins before you get into the good tier. That's all I'm asking.
That's true. And the issue I have with Justin Fields is that you just gotta prove it as a passer. We know the ability he has as a creator. When the pocket collapses, with his rushing ability, but if he just unlocks that element with him, passing wise, which I think he will with DJ Moore being there as his number 1 option this season, yeah, he'll take that leap.
That is what I've been saying this whole time. When you look at quarterbacks around the NFL, like when they did take a leap, Josh Allen got Stephon Diggs, took a fat-ass leap. Jalen Hurts got A.J. Brown, took a fat-ass leap.
DJ Moore not on that level, though.
He's not on that level, no. I think that he's very good, but he's not on that level. But get Justin Fields a guy. Give him someone that he's like, okay, I can throw it to this dude, and he's not going to fucking drop it. So give him a guy like that. He's been throwing to Equinemius St. Brown and shit. Like, give my dog an actual real wide receiver.
Chase Claypool. Don't move.
Hey, y'all gonna stop sleeping on DJ Moore. He's not on like Diggs or.
Who would you rather have, DJ Moore or Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Amon-Ra, but I don't think the gap's that far.
I got both of them on my fantasy team. Actually, we're winning the chip.
I do love me some Amon-Ra. I can't lie.
I think DJ Moore is like around a top 15 wide receiver in this league.
Is he better than Amari Cooper?
No, I got Amari Cooper over him.
I do as well. Is he better
than DK?
No.
DJ Moore?
Yeah, is he better than DK?
No.
That could be a debate.
Is he better than Christian Kirk?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I agree. Is he better? I'm trying to think of whether I'm like looking at quarterbacks and seeing who their options are. He's not better than CeeDee Lamb. I know we all agree there.
I can agree, yeah.
Is he better than Garrett Wilson as of right now?
Yeah. I think Garrett Wilson's going to take the leap. I think Garrett Wilson's going to take the leap this year.
I think Garrett Wilson's already a top 5 route runner in the NFL. So
yeah.
no.
Well, what about the Niners receivers? Ayuk and Samuel.
He's better than both of them.
Okay.
I love Dibo. I want to get that straight. I love Dibo. Not this Dibo that's in this call with us, but I love Dibo Samuel.
He loves the 2E Dibo.
I hate Dibo Elango. I love Dibo Samuel. But he had a terrible year last year. Horrible. Like really bad. He was only good that one game against the Rams, which I enjoyed. I think that was a great game.
Mm-hmm. I wonder why you enjoyed it.
Oh, when he punked the shit out of Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah, when he punked the shit out of him, and then Hufanga got the pick 6. I thought that was a great game.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
I am.
So mid?
Yeah.
I think mid is fine.
Okay.
I think he's good, but mid, if you guys want to put him there, is fine.
Well, I'll put him behind Carr.
You Nazi.
Wow.
Come on. Bro, come on.
This is why we can't have Denny on. We get canceled every time we have Denny on.
What?
God damn. Okay. Next one.
Ooh.
Oh, I know where I'll put him. Mid behind Justin Fields.
No, I'm putting him in front of Justin. Ooh, am I?
I put him for a Fuse.
I would put him in front of Fields behind Derek Carr.
Yeah, Dibo, Charleston White, and y'all the same person, bro.
Come on. Bro,
No, Danny Dimes had an insane playoff game. It might have been against one of the worst defenses.
Bro, what you talking about insane, bro? They gave him the respected playbook. Just 3-step drop.
No, he had a good game against the Vikings. It
was a good game. I'll stop hating.
He had like 100 yards rushing and like 2 touchdowns passing. That is it. By Daniel Jones.
That is a really
that
good
is an
game.
insane game.
Yeah, he balled out.
Really good game.
I mean, Daniel Jones
especially for it to be his first game on the road. No,
yeah.
I can respect it.
The doula is nuts saying that game.
I do think that a lot of it was Brian Daboll.
I love Brian Daboll. He just be letting his nuts hang. I fuck with that so much, bro.
Nah, bro. I respected him as a man during that first week against the Titans. We went for 2 to win the game.
Yeah. My God. I always respect him for that shit. Yeah. I was like, that's what I do at Madden, man.
That is what I do at Madden.
Oh, I remember we were so hyped in the group chat during that game, bro. I was like, yeah.
When they all went, that's how you know he's a good coach, is when after they got the conversion, they all went and they went to go celebrate with him. So you know they fuck with him. Joe Judge would have had them boys standing like in like a soldier position.
Joe Judge would have been like hands on knees, looking at the coin during the toss.
Joe Judge the field goal.
Joe Judge shouldn't even be coaching high school.
But
you shouldn't be coaching Pop Warner.
Joe Judge shouldn't even be making a rupee. I don't want this man to be employed ever.
Oh God!
But back to the subject and the task at hand. I said this when Daniel Jones first signed that extension and that contract. I thought that it was. I understand why the Giants did it, but I felt like they were committing to mid, and not to say like Daniel Jones is a bad quarterback, but I just feel like if you look at even the NFC East, you have quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott. Mm-hmm. You look around the whole league, you have guys like Trevor Lawrence. I don't know why I started with him, but Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. And I just don't think that Daniel Jones can ever reach a potential of those guys.
At best, he's Kirk Cousins. At best. And that's not horrible. But like
it's not. But it's also not what you're paying a franchise quarterback for.
Exactly. And I get the reason though, because they've been struggling and they've been wanting him to be the guy for so long, and they've been so trash for a minute that it's like, man, like we'll take the 8 wins and maybe the wild card spot every year.
That shit pathetic, bro.
It's sad, but like it's on some Cleveland Brown shit. But like they got to do what they got to do.
Man, the Giants back in the day used to put fear in people's heart, man.
Michael Strahan and them boys, man. Eli Manning.
Yeah, they used to put fear in people's heart, man.
Let's move on to Mr. Unlimited.
No, we was having a great discussion about him.
I think this one is going to be controversial.
This might be the hardest one.
Hey, man, put that nigga in Zach Wilson.
No, I disagree. I haven't been good. I think Sean Payton is going to be All I'm asking is this. Danny gave a history of Deshaun Watson, did he not?
I sure did.
Deshaun Watson is a very decorated NFL player, right? As he said, he was getting conversations to Pat Mahomes. All I'm saying is, prior to last season, Russell Wilson was always a top 5, minimum top 8 quarterback, Super Bowl champion. I think he's won an MVP, right? Or am I tripping?
He's never won. He got close.
Never won an MVP. Always been in conversations though.
Yeah,
and after 1 year where Nathaniel Hackett was his coach, we're gonna put him in mid, maybe whatever quarterback tier he is. But I personally think Broncos are trying to win now. They brought a win now head coach who has always had a decorated career with short quarterbacks, with good quarterbacks. I think he gets revived, and I think he has a good season. I'm putting him in good.
I'm not going to put him in good because of what I saw last year was so bad. Deshaun in his 6 games didn't look as bad as Russell Wilson did. He didn't even look that bad.
But he also didn't have Nathaniel Hackett coaching him. He also had Nick Chubb. He also had Nick Chubb, a good offensive line, Amari Cooper, and David Njoku. Where Russ had a horrible offensive line that's reconstructed. Javonte Williams went down with an injury. Cortland Sutton is trash, and I expect them to finally feed Judy, which they should have been doing. They should have been feeding Judy all along.
For real. No, they tried to feed him.
Especially you look at the end of the
Butterfingers.
season when Russell Wilson, the few games that they played without Nathaniel Hackett.
Man,
He had
I'm
a
not
great
trying to
game
hear that
against
shit, bro. They played 3 games without Nathaniel Hackett. Or they played 2 games without. No, they played 3 games without Nathaniel Hackett, right? It was 2 against the Chiefs and the fucking
Chargers.
And the Chargers. Both of those teams wasn't even trying when they played.
Nah, Chiefs were trying.
What the fuck they were? Dibo
Chiefs were trying, and he played good. Chargers were trying in the first half. They literally had all their starters in.
They tried until
Matt. And then they realized that they were going to lose, and then they took all their starters out.
They tried until Mike Williams broke his back, and then they pulled everyone.
Yeah.
And that was like the 3rd play of the game.
That was the first half. I was at the game, bro. I was at the game. Herbert didn't get taken out.
That is a horrible way to spend your Sunday watching the Broncos game.
That is a horrible way.
Herbert didn't go out of the game until the 4th quarter.
What the fuck? What the hell was he doing?
I promise you. Because I remember when Chase Daniels went in, we left. The greatest backup quarterback of all time, by the way.
How much did you spend on the ticket? That's a waste of money.
It was not that much. It was the last game of the year, and we sat pretty far.
And they were trash.
And they were trash. It was a no-show from a lot of fans. Our section was pretty empty.
Damn. All right.
But I'm putting I'm putting Russ in the good tier.
No.
You know what? I think that maybe I was sleeping on Sean Payton because when Sean Payton got Drew Brees was a broken quarterback from San Diego who was looking like a complete and utter buffoon. So, and he basically revived him into turning into a Hall of Famer. Russ, the talent is there. Let's not sugarcoat it. He was a little bit on the heftier side last season.
A little bit.
I think that did hurt him.
It did.
And streets are saying that he's like cut 15 or 20 pounds. And
he beat him with Future, so he had to.
He's got to do what he's got to do. Hey, unpopular opinion, bro. But Russell Wilson, he participates in organized violence, like for like a long, like he participates in that shit 7 days a week for like the full year, really.
Mm-hmm.
He low key might beat Future ass, bro. Like, I'm not gonna sit here. He might beat Future ass.
All right,
Future got to stop talking crazy about Mr. Unlimited before you pull up and give him the beats, bro.
Yeah, bro. When we look at the actual tape, Future's like 6'2", and Russ is like 6 foot 5'11".
But has Future ever shown us that he has any athletic capability?
No.
Okay.
I'm taking Russ in a fight. I'm taking Russ in a fight.
In an 8-round boxing match, I'd take Russ. This dude Future be taking drugs. At you 45 taking drugs every day. I know that he not keeping up with Russ.
No, doesn't Future have that iconic pic of him sipping on lean too?
Bro, which one?
Exactly.
Which one? Bro, he made a song called Perky's Calling, bro. I don't think he
shout out Future. We're talking about a legend right there. But
yeah, he's a legend.
Russ might beat his ass.
No.
But let's get back to the
Russ
topic
might eat
at
his
hand.
ass.
I think we'll throw. If we throw Russ in good, it has to be like
behind Tua.
It has to be every single other QB we put in good. Russ has to be behind them.
Maybe not every single QB.
Because I'm looking at this list, I don't see many others that he's better than that we could possibly put in good.
No, that's why we should put him in the mid tier.
No,
let's put him in mid for now.
I promise you, Russ is gonna be good next.
If you look at the picks he threw last year, most of them were his fault.
Most of them were terrible. You know what? Throw him in good behind Tua, and then we'll discuss that. That's the new talking point now. Is if you're better than Russell Wilson.
I think Russ is bound to have a bounce back year. I really do.
I think it could happen. I
think this is a Chiefs fan hating as well.
How am I hating?
It can go either way for the Broncos. They could have Russ be like good and they'll win 9 games, or they can have Russ be terrible and they'll win like 4 games.
I'm also predicting that the Broncos make a wild card spot. So my predictions have a lot riding on Russ.
They can get the wild card with 9 wins, I think. It would be like a nasty 9 wins, but they could do it.
I don't know. The AFC has way too many teams that could compete for that wild card.
Bro,
we said this last year, and then like teams inevitably fall out.
Yeah.
Injuries, stuff like that. Yeah. But on paper. Because the Jets will enter the race. The Browns will enter the race.
On paper.
The Titans low key
Fuck
might
no.
be in the race.
Shut
Just
up.
because they should get 4 guaranteed wins because of their division.
Bro, Mike Vrabel,
That's fair.
Mike Vrabel voodoo magic is real, bro. Like that team wasn't that team. They were 7-3 at one point last season.
We played the Titans early this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they kick our ass.
The Titans would make playoffs last year if Tannehill didn't get hurt.
I agree with that statement.
Because they were in a win or go home game with the Jaguars, and they had Josh Dobbs like losing the last like 3 or 4 games before that.
Yeah, like they were 7-3 before they went on a 7-game losing streak at the end of the season.
I can agree with that statement, Matthew. It's not ridiculous to say.
All right. Move on to Russ's replacement, Geno Smith. I'll put Geno ahead of Russ just based off.
I'll put Geno ahead of Kyler.
I'll put Geno in borderline elite.
No, I'm not putting him in
he is
borderline
not
elite.
borderline elite.
How is he not borderline elite?
I'm not putting somebody borderline elite off 1 year. I know Trevor Lawrence is there, so that
didn't you say that in order to be borderline elite, you have to be like near the top 5?
I would say so. I would say that's.
Is Geno even better than Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson?
No,
he's better than Deshaun.
No,
hell no, he's not better than Deshaun Watson.
He had 1 good year.
It was an elite year. He was statistically elite in almost every.
Carson Wentz had an MVP season.
That's different.
It's not too different though.
Oh my!
Matt Stafford had a top 10 season not that long ago.
I promise you, Geno Smith as a quarterback is way better than Carson Wentz as a quarterback.
I can agree with that statement. Yes,
I can as well.
I'm not taking the dude who was known for being a complete shitter until last season.
Yeah.
I'm just not doing it. I'll throw him in good, and I'll throw him ahead of Kyler. And
Dibo, I'm telling you, if we have Geno and borderline elite, people are gonna unfollow and unsubscribe from us.
Okay, I don't care, bro. It's my opinion.
I care.
Yeah, Dibo, and your opinion sucks.
What's that mean,
Dibo, they gonna be in your comment section talking about this. Why not everyone needs a podcast? Put him in fucking good and call it a day.
He's good and he's behind Tua, in my opinion.
No, we already get those comments already.
You know what? Fuck it. Put him behind Kyler.
Behind Kyler, above Dak.
Hell yeah, above Dak.
It's possible. It's possible. That's fine. Ahead of Dak is fine for me.
What? Oh, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top 5 there. 6, 7, 8, 9. Bro.
I borderline top 10. That's exactly what he is.
I think that's a perfect spot for him.
I guess that's perfect. So we're gonna have him above Dak, but behind Kyler.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jared Goff.
I'd throw him
good tier.
Bro, he had a great year last year.
I would like to put Jared Goff good.
I'd throw him behind Tua ahead of Russ.
Jared Goff good.
I'd throw him behind Tua ahead of Russ.
Oh my god, bro! It's just Russ, bro. Russ had the most confusing ass fall off I've ever seen from a quarterback last season.
It was so quick.
The reason I have Russ in good is because I'm not basing it off recency bias.
The NFL's a "What have you done for me lately" league.
Huh?
The NFL is a "What have you done for me lately" league.
So then why is Rodgers in good? If it's what have you done for me lately, Rodgers would be in mid.
Yeah, and Watson would be in Zach Wilson.
I don't think Rodgers had that big of a fall off last year.
He didn't make the playoffs.
There's a lot of reasons why that Packers team didn't make the playoffs.
And he had career lows in every stat and I think he had the most interceptions in his career last season.
With a horrible receiving core.
But he also had one of the best defenses of his career.
No, the fuck he did last year.
That defense was crazy last year.
That defense was actually solid last year.
Oh my god. Oh, the fuck it wasn't.
Jared Goff, I'm fine being in good. I actually did think that Jared Goff had a really good year last year.
I know Aaron Rodgers happy he gets to play on 9/11.
I am a bit scared.
Oh my god, bro! Stop. Yo, what did you? Come on.
You want me to repeat it?
No.
Jesus. Why would you say that?
I don't know. I thought of Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, and it just makes too much sense. So let's just throw Jared Goff behind Russ.
Jesus Christ.
I'm good with that. Behind Russ, that's cool with me.
It's just Russ himself, man. I don't know. It's just so confusing.
These Chiefs fans are crazy.
Bro, did you look at the tape? Bro, I'm gonna say
I watched that Texans game. I watched that Colts game.
bro, I'm gonna say about to go on, bro. I'm
The
gonna say about
Titans game. That shit was painful.
Dog,
I promise you, Russ is back.
That
I
Colts
was at
game
Boulder
was one
today
of
watching
the
his
most
workout.
painful games I've ever had to watch in my life.
I was at Boulder today watching his workouts on the Buffs field.
No, you weren't.
I wasn't, but he was actually at Boulder. I saw it on the news.
Oh my god! But
Why
like,
are you watching the news?
It was on at the gym.
Dog, I'm going to deadass pull up on YouTube every single Russ interception he threw last year, and most of the shit you're going to see is him throwing the bitch in triple, quadruple, quintuple covers, bro.
Wait, Dibo,
here's my
you
only
said
argument for Russ over Jared Goff, even though I think they're in the same tier, is look at the coaching and look at the offense around them. That's it.
All right, but Dibo, you said this is like showing your screen?
Nah, like I meant that I'd pull up YouTube now.
But this is showing your screen, correct? Like,
yes.
Exit out of this and make a new tab and type in the letter P.
No. We're not doing that. We're gonna wait. It's just a waste of time.
Okay. What about the letter X?
Well, the letter X?
Yeah.
Why I type in the letter X?
Why not?
XXX.
What does that have to do with the point of the podcast?
Like X, maybe?
I don't know. He said that it's showing your screen, and I wanted to see something. So I mean.
All right. Let's get back on the topic.
Back on topic. Let's throw him behind Russ. Throw him behind Russ and call it a day.
Fine. Okay. Oh,
Bridge.
I'll go mid behind Derek. Mid in front of Derek Carr. Actually.
What the fuck? Who the fuck do you think he is? Man, I'm throwing that nigga in Bridge.
No, he's not Bridge. He's not Bridge because we don't have an option behind him at the moment.
Do you have your first round pick this year?
I don't think so.
I think they have their pick, the Rams.
I don't know. I don't know our picks very well. I'll say that.
Didn't you draft Stetson Bennett?
Who's probably
the future?
Matt Stafford.
The future.
The future in quotation. I hope so.
Hey, all I gotta say about Matthew Stafford is this: the man had his worst year of his career, arguably, with the baseball injury on his throwing arm.
Yeah,
the dude's fucked. He's cooked. It's over. I'm sorry.
He was a good dude though.
He's a Super Bowl champion though.
Not Hall of Famer.
Sadly, yes, Dibo, not a Hall of Famer, but he's sadly a Super Bowl.
I'm gonna have to disagree, but that's a discussion for a different day.
That's
gonna get way too long.
If we're gonna throw him in mid, he's got to be behind Daniel Jones.
That's fine.
I put him there too.
That's fine,
bro. How is Matt Stafford a Hall of Famer?
We'll get into it another time.
All I gotta say is
fans will be back.
Bro, man got no All Pros, one Pro Bowl appearance. No.
Cam better get in before Matt Stafford does.
But if you put Matt Stafford in before Cam, everybody gotta get in. And you don't gotta get in. Matt Ryan for sure getting in.
Matt Ryan's getting in regardless. Respect.
Joe Flacco getting in.
Matt Ryan should have won a Super Bowl and made it a lot easier on me.
Matt Ryan's getting in for sure. I don't give a fuck.
Matt Ryan, not Hall of Famer.
Did he win an MVP that year too, or was that?
Yeah, he won the MVP that year.
MVP.
Yeah, he did.
But throw him in mid behind Daniel Jones.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine with me.
Bro, there's QBs that won MVPs in over history, and they not in there.
Kirk. Kirk is an interesting name.
I'll throw Kirk ahead of the black Kirk Cousins. Kirk got to go in before his black counterpart.
Yeah, you got Kirk and black
Kirk. I would put Kirk. Nah. Kirk, I'm not putting above Dak.
I'm putting him before Dak.
I would put Kirk above Dak.
Or Tua, maybe?
For sure, I'm putting Kirk above Tua and Dak.
Wait, why are we putting him above Dak? Can I get the reasoning?
Because he's not as foolish.
Is
he? He clearly outplayed him last season.
3-yard throw on a 4th and 11?
Bro, watch the play.
It was the only bad play in the entire
watch
game.
The play. There wasn't nobody open, bro.
Yeah, the play was
horrible. I'm not throwing 3 yards on a 4th and 11 if nobody.
There was nobody open on that play, and the pocket was gonna collapse.
We got to do something. First of all, the play call was bad.
Ball to Justin Jefferson or something. Or
yeah, with 3 people around him. Yeah,
collapsing pocket. No, you're not doing that.
Yeah, because throwing it to him when there's 3 people around him is a great idea.
It's better than throwing it 3 yards on 4th and 11 because we saw how
it's really not. What's more likely to happen, Divo? TJ Hawkinson breaks a tackle and gets a few more extra yards, or Justin Jefferson goes up and catches it over 3 people.
He was getting this shit clamped that game too.
Well, TJ Hawkinson did not break all those tackles. And
I mean, he could have. It's more likely to happen.
I don't know. I don't know. I think if I'm a quarterback or if I'm a coach and I have my quarterback, I'm telling him if it's a 4th and 11, look past the sticks.
Okay, then run a play that where like some wide receiver's gonna get open easier.
KJ Osborne or Adam Thielen could go 1-on-1.
You said Adam Thielen?
Nah, not the Adam Thielen we saw last year, bro.
Not the Adam Thielen we saw last year. That's true. He was not good. That was some serious regression.
That boy cooked.
But I mean, at least Dak has had a playoff performance or two
Against who?
So was Kirk.
Buccaneers.
So
Packers too. If it wasn't for Mercedes Lewis, beautiful toe tap, and Rodgers, beautiful accuracy.
It's one of the best days of my life. I'll always
That
be
was
grateful
one of
for Aaron
the
Rodgers for that.
funnest games I've ever watched. And then Mason Crosby with an insane kick.
That drive was a masterclass.
Everything about that drive is beautiful.
That drive is beautiful. I would put Dak ahead of Kirk Cousins, though.
No,
I'm just saying.
Nah. You gotta throw the original ahead of the copycat.
But I think when we go by playoffs,
But I think the student has surpassed the master.
Nah, hold on. I think when we like talk about playoffs, I think out of the two QBs, Kirk has the better playoff performance.
When?
Versus the Saints.
Versus the Saints.
2019 OT game winner.
That's one of the best QB games I've seen. That was an insane
2019.
game.
We're talking about the NFL is a what have you done for me recently?
Okay, and what has Dak done?
Why did we bring up? Why did we bring up that?
He just had his best playoff performance.
Why did we bring up that Packers game?
Against one of the worst playoff teams in NFL history.
Real.
And that's why you still picked the Buccaneers to win, Dibo.
No, I didn't.
I picked them to win over 12.
We recorded an episode.
Who took the Buccaneers? Somebody here took the Buccaneers.
I took the Buccaneers because I have a saying: you never pick against 12.
I always pick against 12.
Yeah, and how has that gone for you?
Well, recently.
Okay, he's 45. Congratulations, he's 45. 45.
Always bet on
Hey, he just lost a bad bitch. Like, I don't know what you want him to do.
But he lost a
I heard a rumor about him and K and him and Kim K.
I mean, he's not playing anymore, so now I mean it's good for him. You don't got to worry about the curse. Good for him. So go for it. Go on for it. Hopefully Kanye approves.
Nah, it's over for Kanye. It's over for Kanye.
Brock Purdy, can I put him in? I really want to put Brock Purdy in the Zach Wilson tier.
What the hell?
Brock Purdy in any other team other than the 49ers is in the Zach Wilson tier.
What the hell?
You disagree or not?
Bro, you can throw him in mid ahead of Matt Stafford.
Yeah, just throw him in mid and call it a day. He's not that bad.
If he's on any other team but the 49ers, he's not. We're not even having this discussion.
What about Jimmy G?
Jimmy G's mid.
No, Jimmy G's a bridge guy.
Oh, Jimmy G's bridge. I would actually agree with that.
So we can throw Brock Purdy in the mid between Daniel Jones.
If anything, I would consider Brock Purdy bridge.
No, he's not a bridge guy. He's mid.
Damn, I'm trying to think.
He's not old enough to be a bridge guy.
If I'm a team, I'm looking at bridge as like I don't necessarily want this QB my next couple like in the long term future. I don't think the 49ers see Brock Purdy and want him long term.
They might.
They might actually.
they really might.
I like Lance more than Purdy.
They might because
I do as well, Dibo.
Because he's got what 4 more years on his deal. Oh no, he has 3 more years on his deal.
Can we do all 3 of the technically former Jimmy G's former, but can we do all 3 of the 49er quarterbacks right now?
Sure.
Because I know he's not a rookie technically, but I would like to put Trey Lance in rookies.
That's true.
I think that's fair.
Jimmy G, can we all agree is bridge?
Yes.
Because I think the Raiders signed him, but I don't think he's in there long term.
Sam Darnold as well, the other 49ers.
Sam Darnold is bridge. Sam Darnold I could see actually being like this year's Brock Purdy.
Sam Darnold should not get starting minutes.
Sam Darnold could literally do what Brock Purdy does.
Pesos, man. That
literally be a game manager, and that's all he has to do.
Bro, I would not. No, no.
I'm fine
I
putting
wouldn't
Brock
even
Purdy.
get that
I'm
nigga
fine
Turkish
putting Brock Purdy
dollars.
in backup or bridge, but I can't put him in mid.
I wouldn't even give him the fucking Turkish currency, whatever it is. That I don't like Sam Darnold's game at all.
No, he wasn't that bad last year either. But yeah,
Come on, bro. Or no, he actually wasn't that bad. Actually, he was playing like he had his life on the line.
because
I think he did.
He did.
Yeah, bro, he was gonna play in the USFL if he didn't show off.
Yeah.
He didn't show out.
Taylor Heineke, low key. I'm looking down. Taylor Heineke to me is also a bridge starter. If we're just throwing everybody in there at the moment, he would be in front of Sam Darnold. Yeah. Well done, Dibo.
Heineke and Purdy the same quarterback, even either way. So.
I rather
Oh,
have Heineke.
shut up, boy.
They're the same quarterback.
Actually, put Heineke above Purdy. My opinion. I don't know if
What?
you guys agree.
Low key, yeah, I think so.
But what Brock Purdy did you guys watch last year?
The Brock Purdy that had the best offensive line, best weapons, and best coach. Arguably.
Come on, bro.
How is Brock Purdy better? How is Brock Purdy better than Taylor Heineke?
Is Brock Purdy going into Washington and doing what Taylor Heineke did?
He might.
Pre-injury?
He might.
No, he's not.
Bro, he got that type of motion, bro.
No,
Because
Heineke got that type
Heineke's
of
game
motion.
is not even based off of football. It's based off of motion and inshallah.
It is, but Brock Purdy.
I've never seen Taylor Heineke make a good read. They may just be throwing that shit up. Brock Purdy at least makes a good read. He's way more
You're not
accurate.
getting Kyle Shanahan scripting a nice, easy playbook for a young quarterback getting his first start. You're getting Ron Rivera.
Yeah.
That's a significant drop-off. We know Debo's opinions on Ron Rivera.
Which he, for some reason, will not say
Actually,
publicly.
we don't. Technically, LD supporters don't know it.
But that Ron Rivera is one of the worst coaches in the NFL right now?
Yeah,
no,
but
they know
why?
that. They don't know why.
Dude, they don't know why.
They don't know Debo's theory about why he has a job.
Yeah, because of his senile coaching schemes.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
For sure.
That's why.
Yeah, Ron Rivera has a job.
Starts with a senile, right? Senile, right?
Because him being a coach, right? Washington, they consider him as a leader because during the Dan Snyder era, when he was the owner, right? They need a guy in the locker room where he could corral the players together, and that's what Rivera does, according to them.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, have the Commanders been sold yet, or is it still Dan Snyder?
It's like in the process.
Yeah,
I don't think it's official though. It's close.
Yeah, Dan Snyder's not going to be the owner for any longer. So
sadly.
Why are you saying sadly? You from?
He's a Deshaun Watson fan.
That's we
know who Danny supports in this world.
Because we need more dickheads in sports.
Vince McMahon.
Sports is fun when there's dickheads involved.
Bro, this man.
Like Donald Sterling. Tell me not the Clippers were not one of the best teams to watch when Donald Sterling was the owner.
Bro, that man.
Nah, it's because of who they had running the point.
Nah, it's definitely not because of that fraud.
Oh, you don't even know who Donald Sterling is until he got caught being a racist.
Exactly. We need them closeted dickheads.
Oh yeah, it's not a closet. He's open.
I think that is his problem, was that he wasn't keeping it in the closet.
Bro, I mean, you know what? With like NFL owners and sports owners in general, like most of them are dickheads, but that's not. It just goes out of his way to be a dickhead.
Yeah, we need more people like him.
No,
I'm not doing what he did, but we need like more just like idiots is what I meant.
More idiots.
But that man had like what the FBI involved with their facilities, bro. That's
no, he went to fucking Congress and lied.
Who?
Dan Snyder.
Oh, God.
Dan Snyder actually fun fact, he the problems arose from real estate. I don't know if you guys knew that.
It was something about their stadium.
Well, I heard something else. I read something else. I heard he was discriminating on who he was selling houses to. I don't know why you're laughing. That's not
funny, bro. It's funny.
It's not a laughing matter. Speaking of discrimination, though, former Alabama. I don't know if that's a smooth transition or not.
No, it's not.
QB Mac Jones. I have him personally in the
Oh
mid
my
tier.
God, Matt, that's the worst transition you could have made.
I thought it could have been smooth.
Bro heard
No.
racism and thought Alabama. What are we talking
I
about?
saw Mac Jones and then thought Alabama and thought, how could I tie this in?
Racism. Racism is always the answer, kids.
Would it be better if it started with an I?
No.
If the topic we were talking about for Alabama started with an I?
Incest? Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't want to say.
Let me, bro, stop, bro. Let's talk about Mac Jones.
Thank
Mac
you, Dibo.
Jones.
I have him in the mid tier.
I
He's
have him
like
in
the
backup
definition
because
of
he's
mid
their
to me.
backup.
Bailey Zappi's not gonna be the starter.
Should be.
I would like Bailey Zappi to be the starter. I can't lie.
Bro, come on.
No, but all jokes aside, Mac Jones isn't horrible.
Oh, I'm not a fan of Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is behind Justin Fields here.
No way.
I think he's behind him too, but I don't think he's horrible.
Jeez, man.
I honestly enjoyed the Bailey Zappi playing time more.
I didn't because he beat our ass.
And Aaron Rodgers' ass.
I'm sorry.
So
bro.
I did enjoy it actually.
I'm sorry, but I have Mac Jones over Fields, Stafford, maybe even Danny Dimes.
What?
He can't be over Danny Dimes.
I think he can be over Stafford.
Why not?
He can be over Stafford. That's fine with me.
But he can't be.
I kind of want to move Stafford behind Fields.
I do too. I've been saying that.
And then I would like to move Fields in front of Jones.
No.
He's way more dynamic.
Yeah, but
what about the passing, man?
you do get paid.
It's not like Mac Jones is blowing me away with his passing.
He's a way better passer than Justin Fields.
He's a way better check downer than Justin Fields.
Okay, no. Justin Fields can't hit the check down. He's not accurate. I'm sorry. It'll come. It'll come.
But I'd rather have a QB who can do the spectacular than a QB who literally is like Mac Jones has no running ability and he's shown no accuracy on the deep ball.
And
it's
they
like
made the
only
playoffs.
checkdowns from him.
And they made the playoffs off of it.
But Mac Jones one of the most.
What happened in the playoffs?
Whoa.
Like the biggest loss of Belichick's
career
ever,
he threw a dime and it got picked off because the safety made a great play.
It was the biggest loss of Belichick's career.
That wasn't his fault. I'm pretty sure it wasn't his fault.
It was not his fault, bro.
That was the defense being washed against the Bills.
They got slutted out, bro.
They got slutted out.
They didn't have a chance.
Sam Howell, backup / bridge starter.
No, rookie.
Rookies.
He's rookie.
Rookies. He's in rookies.
He looked good versus the Cowboys, but that was the last week. So
Will Levis, rookies.
Rookies.
And he's going to be last no matter what in the rookie tier.
Yeah. Tannehill is bridge, obviously, because he's on his way
because he's clearly the bridge quarterback. He can be the first one.
Yeah, I think he is the first one.
Above Jimmy G.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair. I had to think about it.
Baker can be in Zach Wilson. Or, yeah.
I easily put him in Zach Wilson. I'm sorry. That night, bro.
No, I agree.
Hey, man, I respect Baker for what he did against the Raiders on Thursday night. That
was one of the best times I've ever seen.
Oh, how are we doing this Zach Wilson tier? If you're highest,
terrible.
You're the most ass, or if you're lowest, you're the most ass?
Oh, no, he's got to be ahead of Zach Wilson.
That's what I was about to say. Okay.
All right.
Jordan Love, rookies.
Jordan Love, technically.
I put him above.
But I'd put him above. I'd put him ahead of everybody.
Yeah, I would too. I actually have been thinking about picking up Jordan Love.
I think Lance has a higher ceiling than Love, but I really love Love.
But as of right now, I think Love will be better.
Crazy. No, I think he'll have a good year.
And I'll put Andy Dalton in bridge because he is the bridge guy, but he's like the backup. But he's got to be ahead of Dalton, or not Dalton.
Heineke. I would have a year or two ago. I would have put him in bridge starter, but I think he's made his way to Zach Wilson tier.
Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton's a
serviceable. He don't have a good year last year.
Andy Dalton's a serviceable QB.
Last year.
Yes, he did.
The Saints had how many wins?
That was nice.
That wasn't his fault.
That roster is not as bad as they perform.
Wins are wins are not a QB stat.
QB is the most important position on the field.
Okay, well,
it's clearly running back. But if you...
Oh God, they're getting paid nice this offseason, I heard.
They're getting their bags, man.
Nah, but as I was saying, there's a whole lot of other positions, factors, that goes with winning a football game and lose it. Now all of it's QB.
I will say we have to hurry this up because my phone is on 2%.
Yeah.
Get a charger.
My phone is low too. My phone. Well, I mean, most of these,
My
a
charger's
lot of
low.
these are rookies and ass, so we're pretty good.
All right, Hendon Hooker, rookie, and he's
Rookie.
ahead of Will Levis.
How?
Nah.
All right, fine. Bryce Young, rookie, but he's
Will
first.
Levis is getting outperformed by
Bryce
Malik
Young is
Willis.
first, yeah.
Easily.
Matt Ryan is retired, so I
Zach
don't think
Wilson.
that's fair.
Zach Wilson tier.
Yeah.
Terrible this
Carson
year.
Wentz, Zach Wilson tier,
Same
above
thing
Matt
as
Ryan
well.
though. He's
No,
ahead
not
of
above
Matt Ryan.
Not
He's
above
ahead.
Matt Ryan.
Yes, he is. Look what he
No,
did
he's
with the
not.
Colts.
No, he's not.
The Colts were far better with Carson Wentz than Matt Ryan.
We're talking about last year.
Oh my God! Which QB was the
Okay, well, he's definitely not behind
He's
Zach
weird.
Wilson. I hope we can agree there.
No, I was just
He's not
joking.
behind Zach Wilson.
I was just joking.
He's
But
ahead
don't
of
put
Matt
him.
Ryan,
Don't put him ahead of Matt Ryan.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Don't.
Matt Ryan is retired.
My shit's at 1%. Let's hurry up.
At least Carson Wentz is like giving up his body.
Okay. Davis Mills.
He might be behind Zach Wilson.
No, he's not.
No,
He's ahead of him barely. He's ahead of him barely.
He's not ahead of Carson.
Kenny Pickett is in mid.
He's in mid. He's ahead of Matt Stafford.
Yeah, right there is perfect.
Yep.
Anthony Richardson is
rookie
ahead of Troy Lance.
Rookie. No.
Yes, he is. He's ahead of Trey
He's
Lance.
behind Jordan Love.
He's ahead of Trey Lance off of potential alone.
Yeah.
He's Desmond Ritter's and rookie.
He's behind Jordan
after
Love,
Jordan Love.
personally.
He's after Jordan Love?
He's not a rookie. He played too much of last season to be counted.
He played like 2 games, bro.
3 games. He barely showed anything.
He played more than that. They ended the season with him.
CJ Stroud is behind Bryce Young.
Okay.
And those niggas is last, whoever those two are.
I know that's Kyle Trash. He's trash.
Oh, he's trash. Yeah, he's fucking
I just got off that one throw. My fault.
Desmond Ridder played 4 games last year.
Matt Corral is right there. Behind him.
No, Desmond Ridder can't be in the rookie tier. I'm sorry. 4 games is too much.
What?
4 games
Four
is too
games
much.
defines a career?
Huh?
4 games defines a career.
What is going on with your mic, Danny?
I think it's because my phone's on 1% and she's about to die.
Are you on your phone?
Yeah, I'm on my phone. What the hell is happening?
Yeah, that's just
just get a charge.
Okay, well, there he goes. I personally think, though, we have to move Desmond. 4 games is like Trey Lance can be a rookie because he played 1 game. Jordan Love played like the Eagles game.
But didn't Trey Lance get like multiple starts during his rookie year?
No.
He's got multiple starts.
He got the start against the Bears. No, his rookie year he didn't play. Was last year's rookie year?
No, it wasn't.
No. His rookie year he didn't play, did he?
Yes, he did.
When did he play?
Yeah, he had 2 starts last year.
2 starts last year. One of the games he was out in the second game he got injured in the first quarter. Yeah, in the first game last season he was hurt, or it was a monsoon.
Yeah.
Trey Lance has played 2 games in his career, I think. Never mind. He played 6 games, 2021?
No, he had 2 starts. Look at the starts.
No, I'm saying 2021 it says games played 2, or games played 6. 2022 it says 2 games played.
Okay.
What the heck?
Right now. Let's see. We got this.
I mess with it.
Mahomes 1, Burrow 2, Allen 3, Hurts 4, Herbert 5.
Do we want to move anybody now that we see this list final and complete?
Do we move Kirk higher?
Kirk?
I think we move Kirk higher.
I would like to move Kirk lower, personally.
Over who?
Dak. I would like to have Dak. I would also like to have Dak over Geno. If we could move,
I'm not putting Dak over Geno.
I hate having a player off one good season so high. But
okay, then by your logic, we should move Lawrence out of borderline elite.
But Lawrence also has the potential, and Lawrence also only has been in the league for 2 years.
Geno's only been a starter for 3 years, and in New York, he didn't have a chance.
But he's been in the league for a while.
They ain't give him a shot in New York.
I also don't know how much better he can get at his age. Well, T-Law is like very young.
I think with with the signings with the acquisition. Sorry, let me start. I think with the moves the Seahawks made in both free agency and in the draft, them getting a guy like Jackson Smith and Jigba as another weapon to go alongside both Metcalf and
Such a good pick.
one of the best picks in the draft. Kenneth Walker's still there. They beefed up the O line already. On the defense side of the ball, they got better as well. And so I just think with an improved defense and with him getting another element in that offense with the JSN, I just think it'll take the less pressure off of him to play hero ball because when you look at his decrease in statistics during the second half of the season, well, in the last 2 months of the season last year, is because one, the O line declined massively, and two, the defense was just one of the worst in the league by far. I mean, they were laying up yards, points, the whole shebang, and so Gino had to play. He had to play hero ball just for them to win games, just for them to be in games, and because of that, his stats took a dip. So,
No, that's fair. Gino had a very good year. He also had some of the best quotes from this year.
they woke me off, but I ain't right back.
This
You
guy
heard that shit every
I
single
wish
game
I
last
wish
year.
the Jets drafted Jackson Smith and Jigba. It was the perfect pick, and he was on the board for their pick.
Yeah.
They sold. They sold.
Yeah. Hey man, just got Alan Lazard and Miko Harmon, so they're gonna be alright.
Who's the right? Is Alan Lazard's not the wide receiver too? They have somebody else, right?
Yeah, that's the wide receiver too.
No. What about Corey Davis?
I'm pretty. That man might get cut.
Well, Garrett Wilson's obviously the one. I am a fan of Alan Lazard.
So let's see who do we have here. So our wide receiver core is currently Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard, Miko Hardman, Corey Davis,
Randall Cobb.
Izzo Mills, and Randall Cobb. That's 6.
Who's there? Oh, they got CJ Uzomah at tight end. Hopefully, Brees Hall has a good year too.
Yeah, they have to because that's their bread and butter, the running game.
What's next episode? What's next episode, Dibo?
I was thinking wide receiver tiers,
Ooh,
the NFL, and then
it's not a bad idea.
yeah, we're just gonna recap. We're just gonna recap like players basically by positions.
Damn, fuck the running backs. You just like the GM. Skip the running backs. Go to wide receivers.
No, I mean I think the wide receiver is more popular than the running backs.
It is. It's also we could wide receivers is gonna take a minute. That's gonna be a long episode.
No, we'll just shorten it down to like the ones that really matter because I really don't want to talk about guys like, even though I love him personally, like Valdez Scaling and
No, we don't.
TJ Osborne. So yeah,
Do we want to do like instead of having like an elite tier? Do we want to have 1 through 5 and then 5 through 10 and then 10 through 15, 15 through 20?
for wide receivers.
Yeah, or do we want to keep it the same as this?
No, I think this is more effective to be honest.
No, I like this. This is good. This is good. This is good. I actually like this list. One question: is Kyle Trask a rookie?
No, but I was trolling earlier. I'll put him back in the rookie tier.
He a rookie, I thought. Has he played? Has he suited up?
He hasn't played, but I think he got drafted in 2012, 2021 or 2022.
Dibo, do you know who is Blaine Gabbert your guys' backup QB now?
Yeah.
I was about to say my uncle and aunt own a shop in St. Louis, a watch store. They like sell watches, and he came in and bought a very nice watch. And they were telling me he's the backup QB. I was like, oh, I didn't know. I thought it was still Chad Henne.
Yeah, he retired.
Shout out Chad.
Hey, went on like a boss, man.
Why not like
Super Bowl, the divisional game, man.
Into the sunset.
Yes, sir. All right, but do you want to wrap it up from here?
I got you. I know Dibo usually does it, but follow us on IG, TikTok, Subscribe on YouTube. We do post daily, whether it's shorts, whether it's clips, whatever you guys like. Keep killing the like button. Keep killing the follow button. We are so close to 6K on TikTok. Please get us there, and we appreciate it. Have a wonderful night, you guys. I don't know when you're watching this, but it's night over here. So have a good one.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Peace.